Alright, so first up in this video we have this Tarzan cover. I like this whole like I don't know what you call this. I keep wanting to call it like a trim or like or maybe a dust jacket. I know it's not a dust jacket, but this like kind of L-shaped thing around the comic. I like that. I like the style of that. And then because I kind of like how it isolates the main image of the cover, kind of like almost like it almost gives it like a frame. Like this is a picture frame, and this is the picture. I don't know, there's just something about that I like. And then of course, I like this image here. This is pretty cool. I like the detail on the blood on the gorilla that he just killed. Yeah, just a really dynamic kind of cover. Plus the colors really help that black and red throughout the backdrop. Next we have this Grimm's Ghost Stories. I'm always a fan of these old gold key kind of like painted, almost like kind of painted realistic looking covers, especially the ones for the Twilight Zone issues. Those are so cool. This one, I mean, this the actual image, the actual stuff in the picture is not anything crazy, like, but I do like the painted look of it. I like this ghost dude back here. He's like, whoa, what's going on? Next up, we have uh, looks like I think it's called. It looks like it's called Storm. I don't know. I'm assuming it's some kind of like some kind of sword and sorcery type of magazine. But I do love. I love like the color. I love this big yellow backdrop with this white sun, which is kind of interesting because usually suns would be yellow. I feel like if you're gonna color a sun, but the fact that the sky is that color means that the sun. Anyway, but I do like the use of the white back here, and I like the giant red font here. I also like the way it has this kind of wavy look. Maybe that's not the right word, but I really like this style here because it feels like it almost looks like it's like heat waves, like it's so hot over here that even the title has got the little wavy heat effect that your eyes get. So I think that's really cool. I don't know if that was on purpose, but if it was, that's a really cool detail. And then even if I really want to kind of examine this, the guy is blind and is he blind because the sun is so dim? Both of these characters are blind. So are they so blind because the sun is so hot and bright that it blinds them? There's got to be a story purpose for why they're both blind. So the title is even blind because it's been staring. I've thought about this way too much, but I like the fact that this cover is making me think about this and try to piece together. This cover is doing a really good job of like visual storytelling of making me try to like figure out this world and stuff. That's just yeah, I'm impressed. It was such a simple cover, but it did so much, making my the wheels in my head turn. All right, then we have Western Aces, just a old school Western cover, just two people on horseback. I don't really have any strong opinions on this one. I like the red coloring throughout it, but that's about it. Mercenaries, um, it's not really. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's that great of a cover. I mean, I can't. It's got a bunch of cool little things here that I feel like that I feel like are probably references maybe to movies or horror stuff. This might be, maybe, this could just be two butterflies, but it makes me, or moths, but it just makes me think of Silence of the Lambs when I look at this. And obviously, this is like a gun, and then this makes me think of those creepy dumbs caps. Like this is like an angry. I don't know. I do like the little things in the background, but that's the only thing that cover has going for it. Um, Fighting Man. I like the red, the use of like the whole sky is red. I like that. Like this dynamic kind of like going into the gates of hell battle thing. I don't know. Is that a flamethrower? Is this man shooting a flamethrower directly into this guy's mouth? That is some metal hardcore shit. I'm here for it. That makes me love that cover just for that little detail. I don't know what this is, but it's definitely not my style. I really, really don't like this 90s kind of like art style. I don't know what you call it, but I really dislike the way that in the 90s, at least I think this is the 90s, but it during this era, I really hate how characters are always so big and macho, and everything is every muscle in the body is huge. They always have these giant guns and just giant details like this axe. Why is this axe so damn huge? Like I get it. It was like the era of extreme everything, but I've never been a fan of it. A lot of the Marvel covers from the 90s just make me want to vomit, especially the X-Men ones. I know there's a lot of 90s X-Men fans out there, but God, that artwork in a lot of those is just so bad. All right, next up we have Spicy Mystery. I like this. I don't know if this is just a really bad photo copy. Like I don't know if the picture is really bad quality or if the cover was always this like hyper this bright and kind of faded. But if that's actually part of the cover, that's cool. If it's not, it's still cool because it gives off a very like old kind of like fever dream kind of vibe. Yeah, this girl's about to be chopped liver or you know whatever this meat is. It's about to be chopped. It's a cool cover. I like it. We have just a very just simple manga cover. Yeah, it's just a dude. It's just a dude with glasses that look way too small for his eyes. Next up, we have Eternal Warriors. Is this okay? It is a claim, so it must be based on the Eternal Warrior. Okay, that answers that question. Oh yeah, there's the Eternal Warrior right there because you can always tell where he's at because the character, no matter what time period the character's in, he's always got his one hand with that always has some kind of bladed weapon on it. Like sometimes it's on a glove, sometimes it's just a blade that's wrapped around it. Uh, that's actually one of my favorite things about the original Eternal Warrior series is just seeing the different issues where he would be like focusing on different eras of when he was alive and getting to see the different interpretations of the bladed weapon. Like I've seen versions where it's like in the modern '90s time period, it's literally just like a leather glove with some little spikes on the knuckles. But like in other time, similar list, but not the same design. Uh, in other time periods, it's like will literally be like assassin's blade type of blade that comes out of the hand, and then sometimes like I think in like in and then sometimes it's like just literally like a claw weapon, kind of looking like Wolverine, where it's just on his hand. I've talked way too much about that, but it was always one of my favorite things about those Valiant Eternal Warrior covers. Next up, it's a bunch of babies. I don't really care. Okay, then we have what the hell is this? I don't. It's awesome. Whatever this is, it's awesome. That's all I gotta say. This man is like the goofiest looking secret agent or whatever he's supposed to be. But man, do I want to know this man's story. Like I want to know everything there is to know about this man here in this. Is this his sidekick? Is this his dad? Is this his handler? Is this his greatest enemy, Mr. Gentleman? Like I want to know. I need to know. Like I love it. Oh my god, it's so good. Everything Yank. Um, oh, I read that. Where did I even read the word everything? That I don't know. I'm weird. Okay. It looks like it's trying to do a Jack Kirby art style. I don't think it actually is Jack Kirby, but it feels like it's kind of homaging it. It's definitely homaging that classic like good girl kind of Tarzan Jungle Girl covers. This looks like a very obviously kind of Captain America inspired character. We got a Miracle Man cover. I don't really know anything about Miracle Man. I know it's a very, supposedly a very well written series, or at least the original one. This is a cool cover. He's like literally walking out of like destruction. I like the colors and the vibe. Next up, we have Sunday Magazine. It's singing in the rain. Oh yeah, she's just actually just standing in the rain. So the Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarian. Very very dark cover. I mean, this is really it's too dark because I mean I feel like I can't really make out too much of the cover. It's cool. It's like a very dynamic cover, but I think they went a little too hard with these darker background colors. Or it could just be the way the photo is. Maybe the photo is just not very bright. Honor of the Damned. Um, this is like another one. This looks like another one of these very manga inspired covers. Um, I like this one a lot more than all the other ones we've seen so far in this series because we've been getting a lot of boring ones so far. But this is very dynamic. They got this big dragon thing in the background. I like the very like I can't think of the word, but just like the very calming blue here with the big danger red. It's pretty cool. It's a nice juxtaposition there. Salmon Doubts. Interesting. Man, I love salmon. These don't look like salmon. These look almost more like dolphins. So that's interesting. Um, it's a pretty basic cover. Very. It's not even that well. The character models are not very well defined. Uh, I'm not really a fan of it. I mean, I like this. I like this kind of half red, half white there, but that's about the only thing that's interesting to me. Oh my god, this is so ugly. Okay. I can't stand this type of shit either. Like, this was very popular in the. I think this is more like early 2000s, but this Marvel Knights. I guess is it the same person that draws all these? It's got to be, because there's this very particular art style where the characters kind of have this weird like painted kind of unrealistic uncanny valley look to them, and I'm just not a fan of it. Like I'm sure this. Some people may find this attractive looking for a lecture, but this just looks horrible. I mean, I like this font here with the size making the E. That's cool, and the white's a cool look on a lecture. But we have a Knuckles comic book. Um, let's see. I mean, I'm not really into the Sonic stuff that much. It's I like it's an okay cover. I think I've seen Sonic covers that were from this run that were better, but amazing stories. This is cool. I just always a sucker for these really old like pulp magazine type of artworks. This my man's just up here living his life and is doing a super super dangerous job with no harness or anything, and then this crazy lady just appears and she's like, "Look at me, I'm sexy. I'm probably gonna cause you to die because I'm sexy and dangerous." It's a cool cover. Let's see, Airwolf, good old Airwolf. Is that this? It is what this is, right? The font was nope. Okay, it wasn't. But anyway, um, I like all the. And by the way, I should probably mention like 4 videos in, I am colorblind, so sometimes I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say a color, and it's not gonna be the color that I'm actually looking at, and you guys are gonna be like, "What the hell?" But just know that I am colorblind with lots of different colors. Blues and purples are one of my biggest ones. I have a really hard time telling the difference between blues and purples, especially when it comes to like darker blues and purples. So I think this is purple. I think this is mostly purple, but I could be wrong. But either way, I like that use of the colors there. Like it's got a very monotone color scheme, except for like here and with the moon. Next up, we have Wonder Boy. I don't know why I had to say it like that. Let's see. He's just got a star on his clothes, and he's jumping down from the heavens to kill this man, this poor man who's just trying to keep his stuff from being stolen from this guy. Doesn't this look like? Doesn't it look like Wonder Boy is attacking the wrong person here? I'm sure he's not, but just the way this cover is designed, It's almost this almost gives me like there's like a joke with the Batman the Animated Series, you know, that classic intro where the two guys are robbing the bank. There's a lot of jokes out there about how it does, you know, those guys might not actually be robbing the bank. They might just be standing outside the bank when it blows up, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And they start running, and then Batman's chasing them. So they're like, "Oh no!" So they start running even faster, and then they're just trying to protect themselves by shooting on the guy who's chasing them. I mean, we all know that's not the case, but this cover just reminds me of that whole fan theory. And then we have Master Comics. This is a is this Master Comics or is I'm confused. Is this Ashley? Like, is this look? This is Captain Marvel Jr. obviously, but is this Ashley Captain Marvel Jr. or is this just? Oh, I did say Captain Marvel Jr. I just I didn't know he was in anything called Master Comics, so I'm confused if this is like an official comic or maybe an international. Anyway, whatever it is, it's Captain Marvel Jr. It's obviously Captain Marvel Jr. flying over a Nazi airplane, I believe. There's not a lot going on in that cover, but let's see. Next up, we have a boy band playing for this girl that's looks like she's in her bedroom, and this guy is all creepily coming up on her, and there's a guitar here. That guitar is a cool. That's a cool little flourish on the cover. We have the Power of Six. I don't know what that is weird. I don't know what's going on here. This is obviously a guy's head, but I didn't see that for like for about 20 10 seconds or whatever. All I saw was like a squid monster, and then I realized this is just a man's head. So they get points for just they get points for just like really messing with my head there. We got another just really terrible looking. I keep wanting to say 90s. It might not be the actual 90s. It might be the early 2000s, but just I'm just you know what from this point on we're just gonna refer to anything from like the 90s to 2000s as like the shitty age. You know, you got the silver age, the bronze age, and you got the shitty age. And I feel like I can say that because I grew up. I'm a '90s baby, and I grew up on the '90s, so I feel like I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, let's end this video on a cooler cover. Which I'm being honest, this is a way cooler cover to me. So we're gonna end the video on this. It's just Donald and his family being held by one little branch before being eaten by alligators, crocodile alligators. And we got some Mayan looking dudes up here gonna kill this guy. I don't know who this is, but that's a cool cover. It's like there's danger, it's Avenger, it's everything you want in a DuckTales or Donald Duck type of story. All right, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.